How are you today? Oops, one more thing. One more thing.
Okay. I can hear you.
I know. Why is it not?
I can hear you.
I There it is. I don't know why it doesn't give me the prompt, the volume control or the volume kill switch on there right away. It's eh, but it's okay. It's okay. We're okay.
Yes, how are you?
Fabulous, fabulous
Yeah.
today. Yep.
hmm
Drinking my creamless coffee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm.
Nice. hmm
What did I haven't eaten since 8 o'clock last night, so it's good.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So how many hours have you done
So
yesterday?
I guess that would be 16. It'd be no, almost 17 right now.
Okay, that's
And I'll
good.
probably go till about 4, I think. I think we'll do that. That's what I did yesterday, and there was some interesting sensations at the end, but it was fine. I was fine.
Okay. You did 19 yesterday?
Probably 19, yeah,
Nice,
something
that's
like that.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I ate today actually. I made breakfast for my kids and they weren't eating and there were three bacon and I ate the bacon.
they can't let the
They're like,
bacon
oh
go to
yeah.
waste because that would
Yeah,
be.
I ate the bacon. When I was a vegan, I wouldn't eat wouldn't eat that. So anyway, yeah, so I ate the bacon and then what else did I eat? Oh, I made them a falacoque, which is
What is
egg
that?
in the shell. It's like soft boiled egg in the shell.
Okay. Oh, soft boiled egg. Okay.
Yeah, in the shell. In the
Okay.
and they Bella Joy didn't finish her, so I ate it
Mm.
too. So that's all I ate. Yeah, since it's
Well,
3 now.
bacon and eggs are the superpower, the superfood.
Yeah, and so yeah, I do have a lot of energy. I'm not hungry at all. But I guess it's not proper intermittent fasting. But it's good. I had a back-to-back um meetings and I had a coaching call
Mm.
and training and then now with you. So it's been like tack, 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 tack. So
Yeah.
I'm glad
That
I had, the bacon and the egg to
so in a
fulfill.
way, it's like you don't have enough time to worry about whether or not you're hungry.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe.
usually like I really, really love my way of living.
Mm.
I take the kids to school, 8:30, I'm home, have my coffee, I'm in my office, and I can work until I go and get them at 3.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing. That's
it's
really.
productive
I think that's one of my reasons for making this tweak, so I can do
to
that
be,
same
yeah.
thing. But I'm having to process. It's like, well, now I usually would have lunch, and now I usually would take a nap, and now I would usually
It's
do this. And
interruptions,
yeah.
interruptions. In France, there is a long lunch break. People
Mm.
usually wait from 12 to noon, like you don't plan meetings from 12 to 2.
Uh-huh.
And I remember when I was there, the normal time would be like an hour of lunch break. But since people are gone between 12 and 2, you assume that 12 to 2 is just lunch break.
Mm.
And so I remember I would go, yeah, around 1, and we will eat actually like a meal
Yeah.
and then go back to work. I don't remember being tired, but today I feel like it's going to be hard if I had to go back to like eating a full meal and then going back
Oh
to work.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
that's what I noticed is even with the intermittent fasting that I was doing and not eating until lunch, like after lunch, well, I'm kind of tired and I do need to lie down for a second and take a short nap at least, take a half-hour nap or a 45-minute nap. But
You know
it
what
was
I
it was
think?
almost like after I broke the fast, like the rest of the afternoon, I felt tired the whole afternoon.
I understand. Do you know what I think the solution, the answer in France why we're not tired is usually we will walk. We don't eat at our desk there.
Hmm.
We don't do
Hmm.
that. So I remember, you would get up, get down, and then walk somewhere, eat, and then walk
Hmm.
back to the office. So I guess the walking
Yeah, that'll
makes
pump
you
it up a little
digest.
bit.
And then so
Yeah.
yeah, you go back to the office and then you work late. Like I remember I would be at the office for 8:30, and then no break until 12:30 or 1. And
Hmm.
usually I wouldn't eat French people, women, we don't eat a lot of breakfast,
Hmm.
those who work. And I think some people will buy a croissant or something to
Yeah.
have with their coffee. And then you go to work, you won't eat anything, you don't snack. And then you go for lunch. Lunch is between 12 and 2. And then you won't eat until dinner. And
Hmm.
dinner is later. Dinner is at 8 in France. So basically you can be, you won't eat anything from, let's say, 1:30 to 8 in the
Yeah,
evening.
it's a pretty
So
pretty
it's
long window.
long,
Yeah.
yes. So that's why we do have like 3 main meals, and dinner is a big deal in France. And at my birthday recently, when I was there, my friend said that the reservation was for 8:30, and I was like, what? Because in the US, I finish eating at 6:30
Sure. Yeah.
or
Yeah. So
7.
late dinner.
But 8:30, I was like, what? We start at 8:30, and I had to remember that that's the way it is there. You will be served dinner at 11 p.m. in restaurants. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, that would be too late for me, I think.
it's super late. And I was like, how would I don't remember how I was doing it, because you go to bed basically, with your tummy full. So
Well, then you
be
can
better on an
sleep it
empty stomach.
off, sleep it and digest it. Yeah.
Well, it works. I guess it's just a way of being.
Yeah.
You're like, nobody is sick because I eat late.
Yeah.
Um, but from what I remember, dinner, unless if you hadn't had a huge breakfast and lunch at my house, dinner wouldn't be big. It would be like a soup and salad, or fish and vegetables, and maybe a little
Mhm.
piece of bread and some cheese. Um, yeah, so it's still a full meal, repas équilibré, complete meal, 3 course, but
Yeah.
small portions too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So now I'm getting hungry because we're
Ah,
talking about,
because
we're
of
talking about food.
it's so you're observer of your thoughts. So what are you
Yes.
going to do about that?
Well, I'm committed to, like I told you, it's 4 o'clock, and I'm going to be fine with that.
That's good. And then you
Yeah.
can have a big glass of water, some
Yep.
tea, and yeah. Anyway, that's awesome. So, what are you creating in the world beside that?
Well, right now I'm working on, for Denver School of the Arts. We decided that we were going to do small group ensembles rather than have all the kids, all 25 of them together to do an ensemble piece. We're going to have 5 or 6 separate small ensembles. So what's happening is each person is responsible for their own part rather than being in a group. Like, if you're in an orchestra and you're in the violin section, there are 15 other violinists there. So if you fake it, somebody else will carry you. But in this situation, there's going to be no room to carry anybody.
Right.
Everybody has their own part, and I'm determining, based on what I know about the students, which would be level appropriate for them.
Okay. And
And
it's a middle school, right? I asked
middle
you,
school and high school.
and high school.
Yeah. So the high school, we're already starting with them. In the middle school, they have their concert tonight, and so at the end of this week, they'll start with these new pieces for December's concert.
That's great. Yeah. Wow. So it's a big concert, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, they do a concert 4 times a year. Yeah,
Okay.
and
And
it's
what
all.
time of the year? What date is it in December? Before Christmas?
Oh yeah, it'd have to be before Christmas. I'm not sure the exact date in December. It's probably early December, probably the first or second week, because they get out. There's a big break, starting at I guess around the 20th until maybe January 5th or 8th or something.
Okay, that's fun. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Okay, let me know. Isaiah was telling me, oh, mom, can we go visit Denver? So maybe we can
Oh,
I'll
there you
travel
go.
with the kids,
Well, I'll let you
and we
know
can
when the
go and see a
when the
concert.
date is. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be exciting. It's a nice hall too. The facility there used to belong to the University of Denver, and it used to be their music school.
Hmm.
And so there are several performance spaces in there, and where they're going to be tonight and for the next one is a really nice hall. It has wooden back and sides. It's very reverberant, perfect for like an orchestra or guitars or
Nice.
whatever. So yeah, yeah.
Will somebody do Handler? Because that's gonna be
Mm, they're doing Handel tonight. They're doing a minuet by Handel tonight.
Oh,
But no, I don't think I had selected any Handel for I thought about Messiah, but then I thought,
oh.
well, that has a little bit of connotation of maybe
For
it's
Christmas.
religious and maybe it,
For
even
Christmas,
though
it's perfect.
yeah, it's just for a public school, there might be some sort of
Oh.
outcry.
Is it public, the
Yeah,
Denver
it's a
School
public school.
here?
It's a
Mm.
public school. Yeah, it
But
belongs to
it's
the Denver
beautiful
School
music,
District.
so I think they would be okay with the religious side because it's recognized as, very good music, classical
Yeah,
music.
and of course, well, I mean, we've talked about this, and I could go on and talk about Handel's Messiah for forever because it's one of my favorite pieces of music. But yes, a lot of it would be easily adaptable to the situation that we're in because a lot of some of the pieces it's a choir and an orchestra and everything, but some of the pieces, the arias, it's really a trio
Hmm.
essentially, right? So it's like there's a violin part, there's a bass part, and then there's the vocal part, and that's it. And a lot of Baroque composers, that's the way they wrote. So Handel's writing, it's not like everything is for the full orchestra and choir, right? There are only certain pieces within this 2 hour or 2.5 hour composition, and the rest of them, well, here's the bass line. There's the
For
there's
the
the
vocal.
violins, and the violins kind of help the vocalist, and that's it. And they didn't have to write out the keyboard parts because he would just write in the figures underneath, just like chord symbols now, and the keyboard player would improvise the part.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
it's pretty amazing stuff. I do since I learned violin and then later mandolin, I started going back to a lot of that Baroque music and playing it on those instruments, especially for me, mandolin, because it's tuned the same way as a violin, so it's the fingerings are the same, and it just makes sense on the violin. Whereas in the guitar, you have to kind of tweak it around because the guitar is tuned differently, so it's a little more awkward. But on the mandolin, it's almost like they're the rudiments, all the basic scales are laid out in the way he wrote
Hmm.
it.
Okay. And do you teach I know the ukulele is your favorite instrument, right? You play a lot.
I don't know if it's my favorite. Somehow the ukulele latched on to me,
Oh,
which I think is interesting. Ukulele, I love the ukulele. Mandolin, I was teaching a student at Regis University who came into this is like a private Catholic school, right? And it's fairly small. The student body is fairly small on campus, but for it attracts very high quality students, and they can take advantage of the community there and take advantage of the fact that it's a small school and get involved in everything. And
mm-hmm.
so he came in and he wanted to major in music but play the mandolin. And so we're like, well, okay, how do we make this work? Who do we need to hire and what opportunities do we need to get him to do? And so he was in the orchestra, he was in I think he was in the jazz band. I think he played in the jazz band and he played in the guitar ensemble and he played in all these things. And what was great for him is you wouldn't have that opportunity in a larger school. Like if you went to University of Colorado Boulder, where I went to school, the music department there is gigantic. I think maybe 300 undergraduates and 150 graduate students. And so you can't really just jump into anything and say, well, I want to play in jazz band, I want to play in the orchestra, I want to play in the guitar ensemble and do it. You have to kind of choose one or the other and say, well, that's it. But at a
Yeah.
smaller school, you have the opportunity to just kind of write your own ticket, so to speak, I think.
Do you rank the instruments? What would do you rank like instruments like this is the noblest of instruments or this is we
Oh,
should do them this way? Because I know for classical, they don't even consider piano. It's really the strings
yep.
that they consider as real noble music, right? What's
Yeah,
your
that's an interesting question about what's the noblest instrument.
For me, there is no noblest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How you, whatever gift you have, the way, it's what you're able to transmit, right? How people can be so moved by what you're sharing, whether it's
Hmm.
through the guitar or the violin or the piano. I know
Hmm.
that personally, I love the piano.
Hmm.
I love guitar. I just love a
Did you
one.
play piano? I forgot if you told me if you play
No,
piano. Okay.
unfortunately, my kids do. I
Uh-huh.
didn't do any music, and I regret that now. I would love to sing, and actually, I spoke with Maria, and I said I might hire her for some voice lessons.
Nice, nice. Yeah,
And if I just can, I need to be able to. It's already 15 minutes. Oh wow.
yeah, yeah,
Um, if I am able to skate to put that to fit that in my
yeah.
but I would love to sing. I would love to learn like to do piano, to play piano, and I would love to dance.
Hmm.
I've always loved classical dance, ballet. And when I was in France with Amina, my friend, we went salsa dancing. And
Oh yeah,
I
I remember you told me
remember
about that.
while
That's
we were
yeah.
living there at that time, I had younger kids in Paris. So when Amina started dancing, it was amazing. She would go, her husband too, they would go like twice a week, and they would go for some weekends. And I remember she was so in love with it, and I was, in diapers. And so I never went. And so this time in Paris, we went together, and although I didn't know the things, I danced with, some guys picked me and I
Uh-huh.
danced with them. And I would
Uh-huh.
say, well, this is my first time. I know how to dance. I have the moves, right? So I was able to kind of follow them. And I was like, I want to do that. So again, I need to find the time to put it, but I would love to pick a dance
Yeah.
as fun. I want to share with you. I added a 6 value in my values
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
that were in my life. And actually, I was able to still keep it to 5. I put unconditional love and loving kindness together. So it's
Okay.
just
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
It's how I feel about others and how I express it in the world, right? It's
Hmm.
to love
Hmm.
them unconditionally and be very gentle in my way of expressing it. And what I added, so there is loving kindness, and that there is a self-care, there is authenticity, and there is the conscious creation, like
Hmm.
me leading my life. And what I added is fun. Fun is a
Yeah.
non-negotiable
Fun.
for me
Yes.
now. Whatever I do needs to be fun. I won't be with people who are not fun. It's like fun is, yeah, we can choose to live a boring life, or we can choose to live a fun life.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't, and what I mean by that is that everything I can add fun to everything,
Yeah.
even a boring thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's the attitude, it's a mindset. And if I decide that my life, I want now a fun life. I don't want to make it sadder
Yeah.
than, it can be in the or based on the words, what's happening in the world. I can choose to
Yeah. I use
replace
that
my
as an email tagline for I probably should put it back. The tagline, and I gave a speech about it in Toastmasters, and I said, "Well, this is my declaration now. If it's not fun,
no.
I'm not doing it. If it's
James,
not
I
fun,
need
I'm
to
not doing
take
it."
it. It's live, but I think it's my son Isaiah who's probably asking when I'm picking him up. Is it Isaiah? Hey, yes. Okay. I am live right now. So tell me, do we need to pick you up now, or I don't know. Okay, so what time? Okay, how about you do homework and say, do homework and then be at the door by 4:30. Does that work? 4:30, okay? Love you. Bye.
That's awesome.
So I knew I couldn't, yeah.
You could ignore it because
I
yeah,
couldn't ignore
yeah,
that one. So
yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
guys. That's real life.
yeah. Actually, we probably should. We're
Yes.
considerably
And
over,
yes, it's
so
3, so I probably should go and pick up the older ones
yeah,
too.
yeah. Well, anyway, thank you all for joining us,
Thank you for
and
your patience with us. I will see you tomorrow.
Yes, see you tomorrow. All right. So, stop the recorder. There we go.